Hey guys, it's Art of the Fed. We're back with Tyler and Kitty. We're going to be doing a honey project review. So we've got at least 10 different offerings that are either honey infused or honey finished. So we'll kind of talk about the differences, different proof points. We got anything from 80 proof all the way up to 129 proof. The good news is the 129 proof is a Garrison Brothers Honeydew. It's a single barrel. And then the starting one is an 80 proof. This is their standard shelf offering of the Honeydew from Garrison Brothers as well. So we'll start and end with one. It's a big lineup. We'll do a little cut intermission in between to make sure we're good. We're going to go all the way up to these blue notes. I got a couple samples in between too. All of them will either be honey infused or honey finished. So our first pour, if Tyler wants to go ahead and start pouring this up, we'll talk about it. Garrison Brothers, High Texas. The honey that they use to contract for this, they use it as an infused method. So the infused is a little wooden stave. They use honey from Burleson, Texas, which is actually where my parents currently live. So pretty cool. A lot of honey out there, a lot of bees out there.
I poured too much. You just take that glass, and I'll take, yeah.
We're swapping glasses because he poured too much. He already knows that we have a ton to go. 80 proof whiskey, about $80 out the door. $79.99 is kind of the normal price. Sometimes you see it on sale. Pretty expensive for an 80 proofer. There's no infusion. There's no finish. Or sorry, there is infusion. There's no finish. So you're not going to see any non-chill filtering of honey or anything floating, any sediment in the bottle. You won't see it. So this one's going to be from the stave. Honey is basically transferred over into flavor. Decent amount of oak and wood from the infused. It does have a sweet note of the honey.
It smells straight up honey.
But it doesn't taste... It does taste quite honey, but not the honey you're thinking of. It's not like honey you'd put in tea.
It smells crazy honey.
It does. And it's only 80 proof. Very easy drinker. I think this is really good on a winter night over ice. We had a cold night one time. I know it's been a long time. And...
When you say we, you don't mean me and you, right? You mean somebody else.
I mean...
We haven't had a cold night.
Me and Kitty.
Okay.
Me and Kitty. Night and day from what we just had. We had a hazmat when we dropped to 80 proof.
It'll be interesting to try that right next to the single barrel version of it. That's super easy to do. That was like, you weren't kidding me. You said Honeydew is actually pretty good. That's like
if you wanted a standard offering, that's one of the most affordable product Garrison Brothers has to offer. This is it. It's not bad.
I actually really like, and there's very limited Texas funk in it as well. Like very limited. Like that's, I think my wife would love that. Wow.
It's a little hot when you come out fresh poured, but from hazmat, this is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So that's the first one, Garrison Brothers Honeydew. This one was infused. They are distilled out of High Texas, and this one, I believe, is Burleson honey. I'm pretty sure it's Burleson honey. There we go. Honeydew is an 80 proof straight bourbon whiskey infused with Burleson Texas wildflower honey for a subtle honey finish.
That was good.
I like it. Next, we have two different samples, so we'll pour them both up. Well, we'll pour one up at a time so we don't mix them up like we almost did the other one. But these are both 100 proofers. So we'll start with the Detroit City Honey Barrel Bourbon, and then we'll move to the Penelope Toasted Honey Barrel, which is going to be also 100 proof. It's a Char 2 5-year batch 23 100 proofers. So we'll start with the Detroit City first. Color, very light.
I've never heard of Detroit City. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. I wish I knew more.
Do you know anything about that toasted honey barrel over there? I never even seen a Penelope toasted honey barrel.
Didn't even know they made one.
Yeah.
Gotta thank the subscribers for sending samples, guys, because honestly, this helped with the honey project. So this just came in from Joe. He helped us get the Night Stalker. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Night Stalker Volume 3.
Yeah, Night Stalker Volume 3. He also sent along some samples. This was actually one of the samples, which is perfect because this goes perfect with this project.
Thank you, Joe.
Detroit City Honey Barrel 100 proof.
And I'm drinking less than RJ because I have to drive later today. So
he'll be hanging out for some hours and he'll be eating some food here, so we'll make it happen.
Oh, totally different. Totally different.
The nose is way different.
Malty? malty nose.
I get a malted
Yeah.
on the nose. Yeah, it's very.
It almost
typical
reminds
malt.
me of the Dragon's Milk
It does
to a small extent.
And it probably should. I mean, Detroit City versus Dragon's Milk Origin. We're very close, Michigan.
And as far as malt goes, I'm still trying to find my spirit animal when it comes to malt. I'm not sure.
That Jack Daniel's exclusive wasn't bad. I gave you a sample of it. Did you actually try that one yet?
I still haven't tried it.
I know you're getting rid of that bottle, but
so
that one
many
was
samples.
actually pretty good.
So many samples.
Definitely still some maltiness on the nose, but very well balanced. It's not overly honey forward.
I get peanuts on the end. I get peanuts on the finish.
Nuttiness.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. I like the nutty finish. That was good. Totally different than honeydew.
Yeah, we jumped up 20 proof points, and we got away from some of the honey and had some nutty notes to it.
It had kind of a to me the maltiness made it kind of like I wouldn't say a rough pour in a bad way, but it was like kind of just a more meaty as in I don't even know how to explain it, but I enjoyed it. It was good. Detroit.
Penelope Toasted Honey Barrel, Char 2, 5-year, batch 23-305, 100 proofer.
This is not malt. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, Penelope. No way.
You can be wasted. You're pouring a lot.
He says I'm pouring a lot. I think he forgets that this is my house, so I don't have to worry about driving. Yeah, I'll keep it up here in case we get to talk about it.
Muted nose, especially compared to the first two.
It almost has an amberana nose, not a honey nose. It's like a darker, maybe that's the toasted part of it, but it smells almost like an amberana rather than a honey.
I get char. Mint palate.
Char 2. I feel lied to. I can't remember who sent the sample. This isn't a bash to you, but if they told you this was a honey barrel, I don't get a lot of honey on this. It's very subtle. There is honey, but it's very, very subtle.
Well, we did just have some really strong honey.
Yeah.
That honeydew Garrison Brothers was like, it was a lot of honey.
And I don't have a lot to talk about these because I don't know enough about these. I don't know if these are infused or finished. I can tell you the next one we're about to go to, 100% is finished. And you're going to see the big difference in color.
So I would say that Penelope one, that was very, very, very light in a lot of things. It was just super easy to drink. I guess it was honey. To me, it came off more of as like a syrupy, syrupy
Maple
sweetness.
syrup, almost maple.
Yeah, not really
Yeah.
honey-ish, but
That's why I said I think I would check with them and make sure that's actually a honey barrel because that was very subtle. So we picked up the Garrison Brothers again so you guys can see the color difference. So this is infused, this is finished, and non-chill filtered. Now, it's hard to see on the camera, but I'll show you the bottom of the bottle. I can tell you from my angle, from my eyesight, this is clear. Tyler can look at this too and see how clear it is.
No sediment.
No sediment at all. And then we're going to jump to another Texas whiskey, Lone Elm, that's non-chill filtered honey. And what do you see on the bottom of that?
Deliciousness.
You can't even see through this, but I can tell you from our eyes, because you're probably getting a reflection off the glass, there's literally a haze. I'm going to
It's almost like a lava lamp.
Yeah, I mean, we're
It's
watching
like
the sediment on this side
just
fall.
Flavor particles everywhere.
We're not going to shake our whiskey or anything like that, but I did want to try to get some of that sediment mixed up just so whenever we get a pour, you'll see the non-chill filtered factor come in with how a finished versus infused whiskey is going to look.
And you're really excited about this one, right?
I really like this one. I would be very surprised if you didn't like it. It's a weeded.
Oh fuck!
You want to swap glasses again?
Yeah.
Heavy hands over here. So this is a Texas whiskey, Lone Elm. There's not a single bottle of this in 200 miles, so we had to ask our boys out there in the West and East Texas, can we find a bottle of this? Can we get it for a good price? Non-chill filtered, 108 proof, Lone Elm. I'm shutting up. I'm going to let Tyler talk about this one.
Does it say anything about mash bill or anything? I'm just curious.
No, it just says Kaufman County Honey Barrels is where it was finished in. Batch 9, 108 proof. American White Oak Barrels, Texas Sun.
Okay.
Not much more information than that.
Because I get a little tiny bit of malt.
This one's wheated.
Is that maybe that's what
you
it
might
is.
smell malt, but I'm pretty sure you're smelling wheat, and you'll be.
I probably
you'll
am.
definitely taste it.
Okay.
I think this one is exceptionally balanced. The flavor is very good. The wheat profile is definitely forward. Even though it's a honey barrel and it's non-chill filtered, it has a sweetness to it that is different than any of the honey barrels or honey infused products that we've tried so far. This is definitely up there in my top 10.
This isn't his first time trying it. This is my first time. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it.
I don't even know what Lone Elm is before this too. Like I have never purchased a Lone Elm product. This is my first Lone Elm product I purchased.
Let me start by saying that I think the proof point on that is perfect for its flavor. But I'm not a huge weeded bourbon fan.
Makes sense.
So to me that's a negative. And you can definitely taste
you taste the wheat
yeah.
before you taste the honey. You can tell that this is weeded before you taste honey. The honey's there. It's not hidden, but I'm telling you, the wheat is very full.
Yeah, if you like weeded bourbons,
this is a home run hitter.
You will love that.
If you like Weller's Special Reserve and you said, let me make that honey finished and give it the Texas Funk, which I don't think there's much Texas Funk on this is the bottle. $72.99, by the way.
No, very, very slow. I didn't taste Texas Funk until the third sip, so
it's very nonchalant. It's not in your face.
And the honey
does a great job covering up.
Yeah, the honey mixes really well with the weeded flavors, and it's really the only thing I don't get in here, and it can be bad or good. I don't get any oak.
Yeah, I agree. I think whatever oak you probably would have got was drowned out by the honey.
Really good. I never heard of. Really good for a company I've never even heard of.
Texas whiskey, man. Texas whiskey.
Yep, that was
the underdog fighting it out.
Yep, I like that.
All right, guys. Back to back, we got Bee's Knees.
Woo!
This is the only bottle of Bee's Knees I have right now. I'm hoping to do a pick with these guys. If they let me do a Bee's Knees pick, that would be crazy. We did win a giveaway from their Facebook page for a sample. I think the sample flight will have the Bee's Knees 4 in it. I'm going to push really hard because I'm going to have a private call with the head distillers along with 5 other people. I'm going to let them know we have a YouTube channel. I'm going to let them know we want to do a pick, and we send an email and get a response. Now, that's not to bash them because we have other guys that are asking for us too. But I think a short barrel pick is definitely coming our ways. I think Bee's Knees is like shooting for the heavens. We'll settle for the next town over and just do any short barrel pick. But
I'm in love with short barrel. I think that they are doing great things.
Non-chill filtered, all the haze, very cloudy. This is all I have left. This is 111.3 proof. Shout out to Matt from Whiskey Wisdom for helping us get this bottle. We also have a short barrel Matt. We also have his pick. It's a 12-year. Rye pick. So thank you so much, Matt.
Would you mind pouring these up side by side? So this is the batched, and I brought a single barrel. I would like to pour them side by side if that's okay.
Absolutely, because we got to get through these somehow, some way.
Be careful this time.
Yeah, Mr. Heavy Hands over there. I'm gonna do the batched on the right. I'm going to do the single barrel on the left.
I do the same. Last time we almost got it mixed up.
Once again, 111.3 proof on the right. I'll try that one first because it's actually the lower proof, and then we'll move to the single barrel from Tyler, which is a slightly higher proof, which is 113.4 proof. Have we figured out how to decide where the honey comes from?
I will say that you did shake this one up a little bit more than you did that one. There's still a lot of sediment at the bottom of that. I don't think it'll matter, but...
Did we figure out how to tell where the honey comes from?
Well, on the tag back here, it says...
Atlanta, Georgia.
It says, Florida.
Florida?
No, that's if the tag's correct.
Kentucky.
There you go.
Right? Georgia.
Georgia. Yep, Georgia.
Both Georgia?
Nope, that one's Florida. This one's Georgia. So this
Florida?
Single barrels,
Georgia.
Yep, single barrels, Florida. Dispatched is Georgia. So there's two different.
And they source honey from what? 3 locations, including Kentucky,
Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee.
Tennessee, Georgia, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is the least desirable from what I've heard. Georgia was the second, and then Tennessee was the most desirable. We don't have a Tennessee representative here. Here's the thing. Here's a batch proof that is Georgia.
Yep.
And a single barrel that is Florida.
Yep.
So whether this is the worst honey ever or not, this is a single barrel. I think it's going to knock the ever-living socks off of this freaking batch proof. 101.3 proof.
Again,
they're both bees knees. They're going to be great.
We're getting more flavor crystals in yours because yours is lower. So you're getting
more, mine's very low.
We'll see.
I just shook mine up.
We'll see.
111.3 proof though. Batch proof.
That's really good. It has just the right amount of char in the mid palate too. It's so easy to drink. Golly.
Delicious. I can't say anything bad about Short Barrel. Honestly, everything I've had that Short Barrel's touched, even their 95.5 Rise, delicious. I don't care if it's 5-year or 12-year. We've had both. I have a 5-year pick in the cabinet. I have a 12-year pick in the cabinet. Both are delicious. Bee's Knees, now trying a single barrel. I've had a single barrel before as well. I think that one was Tennessee from Jeff from Drizzle Nation. That one, that's what made me fall in love with it. It was like 108 proof roughly. Getting into that one and then having to buy my own bottle and now trying Tyler's single barrel. I can see why anybody and everybody would fall in love with Short Barrel, especially with the honey finish. This is non-chill filtered, not infused. It's not, honey soaked. It's non-chill filtered, honey finished whiskey done right. Batch proof is great. Honestly, can't complain.
I already moved on to the single barrel. So the single barrel has less char. I think the single barrel is a bit, at least this pour, without being shaken up with the particulates, is an easier drinker if you don't like char.
The nose is different. The nose is almost toasted cinnamon on the single barrel.
They're both delicious, though. Amazing.
Now, like Tyler said, I didn't shake this one up as much as the other one. This one is not as honey forward. I just used water to rinse between pallets. We are inebriated at this point. We've had quite a bit of pours.
You're inebriated.
Night Soccer 2, Night Soccer 3, Garrison Brothers Cowboy Hazmat, and moving into honey. We're on number 6. This is good. This is really good. Honestly, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, honey, single barrel. This is good.
They are both amazing. Like, there's nothing wrong. They're just great. They are just absolutely wonderful.
This is exceptional.
They're great and delicious. I love them.
Price point. Let's talk about it. From the distillery, $100, 120, roughly. That's out the door. That's out the door.
$109.99, I think. Last I looked.
It's about 100, 120 bucks out the door. That's assuming you can get a coupon code. Secondary. Let's talk about it. Tyler's more in tune with this one. These guys are asking 190 plus, which isn't quite double, but we're pushing closer to $200. Is this $200 whiskey?
I've had worse $200.
It just might be
higher whiskey.
It just might be worth.
In my opinion, it
might be worth $200.
It's worth it, but I don't want to have to pay that. So I'm going to say that it's not worth it.
Shout out to the Short Barrel Club on Facebook, who prides himself on banning people who try to flip. You guys are fine with people buy, sell, trading as long as it's at MSRP. Or running bottles is what we like to call it. We're runners. We're trying to get people bottles that cost plus shit.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you guys distributed to us, we wouldn't have to buy from other people. So
I'm coming for you, Clint. Whenever we have this conversation, man, we're going to talk about it. Now, my buddy Riley is friends with another head distiller from the company. So we have two angles we're going to try to merge together. But as soon as this stuff is able to be... and it can be shipped to Texas now, directly to you, but not to retailers. If we can make this happen where this is available, where we can purchase this, barrel pick, we have a barrel picking group we just came out with. Please join the Reload server. We'll get you guys linked over to the barrel picking group. We will be doing barrel picks very, very shortly. Barrel picks will consist of both non-allocated and allocated bottles. We'll have a tier system. I think this is going to freaking hit the ground running, honestly. I really do. Whacked Out Whiskey Club will be the barrel picking group. It's going to be a subcategory underneath the Reload server. So if you guys are a part of that, Short Barrel, we're coming for you, man. We want a barrel pick. Bee's Knees, please, please, please. Anything else, we'll still take it, honestly. Like, Short Barrel's doing things right.
I just think...
I like Short Barrel.
I think the combination of Green River distillate and honey is just like a home run.
Absolutely. The single barrel Green River that you helped me get a bottle of, I bottle killed that the other day.
Yep.
Other day, it was months ago, by the way. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. We have two more bottles that are honey finished. Both are finished, not infused, of Blue Note. We have the Honey Cask Rye and the Honey Cask Bourbon. So the bourbon is 115.7 proof. The rye is 117.2 proof. We'll let Riley... we need Riley to help us get into these two. But Riley couldn't join us. Riley has a connection with Short Barrel. I have a connection with Short Barrel now. We got some friends and family that have access to Short Barrel. We're going to make this happen. Left or right? Left?
Yeah.
Okay. Bourbon on the left.
And the way I quickly describe these two,
Right on the right.
In contrast, in my opinion, is that the rye is the easier drinker. The bourbon is a little bit more rough, but also more complex. So I guess we'll see what RJ has to say about that.
Now, you got the bourbon through secondary because you missed out on the seal block because they were so quick about it, correct?
I just don't think I was... I don't know. I never saw them on Sealbach, so...
Okay.
But I did get mine off.
I did purchase this through Sealbach. I used Tyler because he's got the account. Let him get the points if they have any points. If they don't, either way, we have some savings. The rye, bourbon we didn't see. So having the rye versus the bourbon on the left, rye on the right, will be very interesting to see the difference because I didn't like the rye at Fresh Crack, but wow, was that good. It opened up.
Yeah, a lot of these whiskeys change.
Start with the bourbon and the rye. Your choice. And we're talking 2 proof points.
Let's start with the bourbon.
Bourbon. Been drinking bourbon. Staying with bourbon. This is the Blue Note Honey Cask Bourbon. 115.7 proof. Very sweet, very good. A lot of ethanol, a lot of oak, a lot of char.
And that is actually, like, now that it's opened up some, that is pretty damn good.
It's good, but it's pretty harsh. I have a lot of burn on the back of the throat.
You can taste the oak, though. And you can taste the char.
Not very well balanced.
You taste the honey.
I feel like you're tasting all three separately. I don't feel like you're tasting them all three together. I don't know what Tyler paid for this. I can tell you my vote is a no. I don't care what the price point is. He said it's opened up. I'm going to go off of his word and say it has opened up because it's been opened, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
we're trying it.
Yeah, it was...
This is still very pungent.
It was more rough when I
It's
first
still
opened it.
very hard to drink. I don't feel like it's well rounded. I think there's 3 things going on, and I don't think those 3 things are syncing up. I think there's definitely a gap or a split.
And for me, it's kind of like I told you about both of these. I was like, they're LEs, but I don't really think they're up to the standard of what I would consider to be an LE.
Yeah, it's not the limited edition offering where it's like you have to go and sell your kidney to buy a bottle, because it's just not quite there. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's balanced. The rye, on the other hand, from Fresh Crack, I thought was very good. Now, without even trying this from opening it, I still think it's going to beat the bourbon, hands down. We're moving up like 2 proof points, like less than 2 proof points.
Yeah, again, I think the rye is an easier drinker. I think more is going on with the bourbon, and I think there might be a balance issue, but there's definitely more going on with the bourbon.
I'll give Tyler that. The bourbon has at least 3 notes going on for it. The rye is kind of a one-trick pony. It does it, and it does it well, but it's only rye and honey.
But neither one of them hold a candle to the bee's knees.
Shots fired.
But they're
Bee's
good.
knees are up. Blue note is down.
But I will say that the bee's knees cost like $40 more too, or close to it. So
At least at MSRP. Talk secondary, we're talking double for bee's knees, if not almost triple. These have almost no secondary value.
but it's Blue Note.
This is good.
Yeah, it's Blue Note.
It's good. I mean, the honey cask rye. I'm kind of glad that I missed the bourbon. I'm glad you picked it up so I could try it.
Well, I didn't pick it up so you could try it. I picked it up because I wanted it, but I'm glad you got to try it.
I'm glad I was able to try it. But Honey Project going well. We got 4 more. Are we shit faced yet? That's the question. See you guys for part 2. Hold on, guys. It's RJ the Fed. We're back for the Honey Project Part 2, the inebriated version. We've had some food to eat. We've had lots of whiskey to drink.
And a nap.
And a nap. And lots of whiskey to drink. Next on the list, we got Dragon's Milk Small Batch. This is a honey barrel finished. It's 6-year age stated. Got this one from Nick Jones, the Milkman. Tiniest pour.
I'm going smaller than that.
We've already had a lot to drink. I've actually drank this one quite a bit recently, so I'm pretty familiar with the flavor on this one. We still got 2 more after that, and then a 3rd one for a fresh crack. Yeah, we're basically at bottle kill level for this one. I do actually have a backup of this, and we'll crack that open later.
For those of you that haven't had Dragon's Milk products from New Holland, they are high in malted barley, but they have a very unique flavor, and the malt flavor mixes in well with their like underlying like yeast strain flavor. Like
I gather that they might use their stout barrels they finish their beers in to age their whiskey, because it has like this milky like green tea almost like.
It's my favorite malted flavors for sure. Man, that just tastes so different than everything else.
The maltiness is with like this sweet note, and the sweet note has like a little bit of an oak. The oak's pretty mild. With being only 6 years, you're gonna have a little bit of youthfulness to it. The honey's definitely prominent there.
To me,
it's not too sweet though.
To me, it's almost like a honey flavored Jolly Rancher.
Yeah. So, we're not even finishing the pour that we poured up. We're gonna just move to the next Glen. We're gonna try to do this one better than we did the last round to move the next.
Whew. That's good. And that was what, 117?
Yeah, 117.5 proof, and then now we're moving up to 118 proof.
One of my favorite honey barrels for sure. It's super unique, and it's not something you probably reach for every night or anything like that. It's kind of like a mood pour, I guess, but it's really good.
And that one is finished and it is non-chill filtered. Moving on to Good Times. A lot of controversy behind this one. Some people say they use additives. Some people talk about finished versus infused. Based off the color profile and the way it appears, I'm going to say that it is finished. I am also going to say that it is non-chill filtered because you can definitely see some haziness of the honey. It is very sweet though. Not so sweet that I think there's additives. This one comes in at 118 proof. It's in a honey and a rare bourbon cask is how they label it. Distilled in Indiana. It's a Red Hot Liquors pick. Pretty sure it's MGP product that's just been double finished. The double finished, I believe, is just honey and then again in another honey barrel. I don't know exactly. It says double finished, but doesn't really tell you what.
And it says rare cask.
Bourbon, yeah, a rare bourbon cask. So I'm assuming some bourbon cask, and then I don't know. They're making shit up at this point, guys.
I'm not getting much off the nose. Maybe my nose is stopped up though. I don't know. What are you getting off the nose?
The nose is very faint, which I thought the same thing when I smelled it too.
Okay. It's got mild char in the middle. I like it though. It's not too much char. But man, that's mostly all I get is the char in the middle. I don't get much at the start. I get the char in the middle and a little bit of honey, but compared to this other stuff we've been drinking, I'm not getting near the honey as everything else has been.
I find this one very sweet. Will LaRue Weller and honey, double finished. I don't know if you guys can see that.
So you find that to be very sweet?
I do. Now, compared to everything else we've drank, it doesn't finish close to as sweet as some of the other stuff we've had.
It's interesting. It's definitely different than everything else.
I didn't find it bad.
Honestly, if I wasn't looking for honey, I wouldn't even have
picked it out.
Guessed honey. Yeah. I mean, that's probably just. I mean, I've also had Cajun hot wings and everything else today, so who knows?
Everything in between. Moving pretty quick, guys, to the second phase. We got a Nulu experimental series. This is a toasted honey barrel. This is a Pooler package pick that comes in about 118 proof, 118.4 proof. Very, very dark. Impossible to see through. When you flip the bottle, too, you'll see there's a lot of sediment, a lot of haze in this one, too. It's very hard to see, so I'll do a quick flip for Tyler so you can try to see.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
As it moves. It's almost impossible to see on camera, guys.
Flavor crystals.
It's very hazy.
And what'd you say? Did you say you like this one, or you're indifferent?
I'm on the fence between this one. The price is pretty up there.
Like what? Like 120?
It was 134, 135 before tax.
MSRP?
I don't know if it's MSRP or not. I don't really see the experimental series, let alone
oh yeah,
picks.
I guess that's probably what it is. It's a experimental series, honey, and
it's a pick.
And it's a pick, yeah.
So we're talking 135 before tax. From shop to my door, we're talking about 175.
So it's about $25 more than the Bee's Knees then.
Yeah. And this Good Times was actually slightly more expensive than the Bee's Knees too, which is kind of crazy to think about. But this toasted honey, definitely up there in price. One of the more expensive bottles of this lineup for sure, but doesn't drink like it, in my opinion.
My nose is dead. Darn.
Eating spicy wings.
Whoa.
Very different.
That got me. I'm gonna try that again. Ooh.
I'll let Tyler say his opinion before I say mine.
What is that? What is it on the back end? Maybe that's... I like that. Maybe that's honeycomb? Like, it almost tastes like a honeycomb, not honey itself.
It's supposed to be a toasted honey barrel. I definitely have the honeycomb flavor note, but I feel like this is honey finished with whiskey rather than whiskey finished with honey. It's very sweet. Viscosity is very viscous. It's very syrupy. It's not quite honey consistency. It's definitely diluted down with the whiskey.
Can a little bit more?
Absolutely.
I didn't quite pour enough to...
It's so sweet though. It's so sweet. Very unique, very different than anything else I've ever had. But I find this one to be just a little too sweet.
You can smell the toasted.
Oh yeah.
But I don't get much else on the smell.
Talking about like Penelope Rio, for example, people talk about how that one's one of those that's too sweet. It's more honey rather than amberana. This is very sweet to me, including all these other honeys. I think this is one of the sweetest ones, in my opinion.
I think it's really good.
It's very good. Is it $175 good?
No, but dude,
it's unique.
I would put this up next to
Bee's
the
Knees.
Bee's Knees. I think it's really good.
We might be sending some of this home with Tyler, so.
I really like that.
How cloudy that is too.
That's
got a haze.
That surprised me. My palate really enjoyed that. I didn't consider it to be super sweet. Yes, it was sweet, but I got more of like a what's that cereal? Honey
Honey Nut Cheerios
with the actual honeycombs in the cereal.
Oh, I know. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It might just be called honeycomb. I don't remember what it's called, but to me, I get that flavor note on it, and it's sweet, but there's like a dark. It's not dark chocolate. It's not. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a dark caramel or dark something that, to me, I get enough of to make it not super sweet to me. It's just the way my palate interprets it, I guess. But I thought it was awesome. Thank you for letting me try that. I appreciate that.
I don't know if we're gonna get the side by side with the first pour, the Garrison Brothers, but we do have a Garrison Brothers single barrel. This was one of those Nestor Liquors pick. It's labeled as pure honey.
Yeah, I verified with Garrison Brothers that was indeed from a single barrel they pulled out of what was going to be the batch of honeydew. So it's uncut. It's 126,
129 proof.
129 proof. So this is. There's very, very, very few barrels of these. There's only like a couple barrels of these. This is a pretty rare bottle. So.
Rare bottle or not, we just opened it.
Yep.
This is bottle 64. Barrel 93. Aged 3 years in oak, so very light on the age statement. Doesn't surprise me with it being Texas whiskey.
Oh, that should have been the second aging. I think this is definitely at least 5 years old. I don't know why it just says that. Oh, they all say aged 3 years in oak. Yeah, this was distilled and barreled in 2018, so it's 6 years.
Oh, because they just poured it.
There you go.
You're not gonna take any?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He does have a bottle of this on his own, but for the sake of content. Okay, it does smell like honey. When they say they use it for honeydew, it made me think that maybe they haven't started the infusing process. This wasn't used with finishing. This was an infused product. So once again, I'm sure it'll say on the tag if they have it on here. Single barrel, they don't have it on here, but I'm going to assume they're going to use the same honey. So I'm assuming it's Burleson honey. So Burleson, Texas is just south of Fort Worth off of 35W.
It smells good. It smells like Garrison Brothers, and then you get that
honeydew note to it too.
It doesn't smell quite as sweet as the honeydew. The honeydew smells straight up.
Well, it smells very similar to the honeydew,
yeah.
To be honest. There's a lot of similarities to it. And once again, we're talking infused rather than finished.
Pay attention to the mouthfeel on this. This thing is like really oily.
Wow. And this is our highest proof.
Yeah, to me it's a super well balanced pour.
We jumped up about 10 proof points from our highest honey proof to this proof, 129. And remember, our first Garrison Brothers honeydew pick that we were trying is only an 80 proofer.
Yeah, after trying that again, it's been a while since I tried the other bottle I have, but that's damn good. Uh-oh.
My kid knows about the carbon monoxide detectors, and he knows how to press the buttons. So he goes around and press the buttons to test them for us.
So you don't have a smoke detector that has a low battery.
No. We're not Hellcat Americans.
So, yeah, that's really good.
And at 129 proof too. I mean, that's the one thing that this bottle lacked, was the proof point. And I say that, I drank this on a cold day, and this was fantastic. I actually drank it over ice, and this was a beautiful pour. Look at the color difference. I mean, this is like night and day for color difference. And we jump a bunch of proof points. We go from 80 proof to 129.
Yep. It's also 6 years, age 6 years. So.
That's crazy.
Yep.
The difference is just... The age obviously is going to help with the color on that too, but...
And the balancing. It tastes super balanced.
The oil viscosity he's talking about, it is very oily.
It just fills up your mouth easily. Just like, woof. It's, as far as today goes, if I had to choose between drinking this and the Cowboy, today I would choose this. I think it's just a really, really, really good pour.
I'm surprised on how forward the honey is. People probably would go crazy over this bottle if they knew this even existed. I think a lot of people don't even realize this is an opportunity and an option that they offer. Garrison Brothers confirmed it. It is part of the Honeydew series, and that they do a lot of product with this company, Nestor Liquors. I might end up buying in the future. That I had the opportunity to buy my first Cowboy through them, but they had it bundled with a regular Honeydew, and I passed because I already had a Honeydew. Otherwise, it was MSRP. I mean, it was literally MSRP on both bottles. Shipping was kind of a pain. It was like $25 to ship, but you're talking MSRP on the Cowboy, MSRP on the Honeydew, and then $25 ship. If you didn't already have both bottles, it was pretty good value.
Well, I would be remiss not to say that this bottle is pricey, though.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's not. This is the most expensive. This is the most expensive honey barrel here. So
$200.
Yeah, before taxes, it's like $180. So
I paid $200 for this one. I want to say I paid right at $200, $195, $190.
Yeah. And if you gotta, because I don't know where they're at here in this state, but you probably have to pay for shipping if you order it somewhere else. Ship it. I mean, it's not cheap at all.
Even here, you're still gonna probably have to pay for shipping. I mean, they're out of High Texas. That's about a 4-hour drive from us at least, and I don't know how the distribution goes on these because an online retailer is the one who took over this one. I've never seen it anywhere else.
I haven't either. Of course, I don't look super hard, but they're not plentiful. There's probably only a handful of barrels that you can get like that.
This is awesome.
Yep, it's a diamond in the rough. I'm glad you enjoy it. Riley really enjoyed it too. I think Riley said that it was his. Well, I'm not gonna speak for Riley, but I think he said it was his favorite honey finished offering that he's had so far. And technically, yes, I guess it's not necessarily finished. It's infused.
Infused.
But
so speaking of finished or infused, and speaking of the best of the lineup, obviously this is the most expensive and highest proof. What other contender down here do you think deserves a spot at the podium? If we got 3 spots. I know we put yours up in the truck, so if you want to represent Bee's Knees, it could be the single barrel.
Either
or
one.
this
Yeah,
one.
they're both good.
I think Bee's Knees definitely needs to be representative.
I mean, it's their if nothing else, I think Bee's Knees, as far as taste and cost, is the best value versus quality. I think it's Bee's Knees, even though it is still $110. That's still better than.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's still better than most of these bottles down here.
I like these three, so I know you're not a heavy on the wheat profile. I do like this one, even though I think that's a little too sweet. I like this one too.
Yeah, the only problem with the Dragon's Milk is, for me, it's just such a mood pour because of the high malt. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. It's just the rest of these, I could introduce them to my wife or whatever, and it wouldn't be like shocking. But the barley on the Dragon's Milk is like it shocks you if you're not ready for it.
What else do you think makes the cut then? Out of what's on here, I know we have the bourbon in the car for that, but we said that the rye was better anyways.
I don't know.
I know we took small samples of these two, so it's hard to say.
I wasn't a fan of the Lone Elm just because
the wheated profile.
Just because it was wheated. But if you like wheat, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I can't hate on that at all. And if you want to put that up there and say it's one of the best, that's totally fine with me. I didn't really like the Good Times that much. I thought it was. I just didn't think it was good. I mean, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was.
It didn't take the top
standout
out of the 10 that we tried. I would agree. I don't think it's definitely
the Blue Note is the only. Is it the only rye we tried? Is everything else bourbon?
It is.
Yeah, it's the only rye we tried. So it's a bit different. It was one. It was also kind of one note, but it's also probably the best value as far as cheapest value anyway.
It's about the same price as the Garrison Brothers regular standard offering at Honeydew, actually.
Okay, and that the Honeydew's 80, but this is what, like
117?
At least
117.2.
Yep. So that's like almost 40 more points more. So I think that the Blue Note is probably, if you're looking for price, probably the best bang for your buck. But I still think the Short Barrel has better quality. So
there it is, guys. We got a first, second, and third.
In my opinion. I don't know if you agree.
And a runner-up. I did get a second bottle of this Dragon's Milk. These are fantastic bottles at $100. Are they available to us? Sort of. They don't get distributed down here. We've got some good friends of us, so shout out to Nick Jones, the milkman, to help get us this bottle to try. As far as the Blue Note Rye Cask,
the Lone Elm's good too. It's just he's
not a weeded profile guy.
But it's good. It is good.
The Blue Note Rye Cask, I was able to get off Seal Block, but I don't think you're going to be able to find this readily available. I do agree that it is one of the better bang for your buck prices. This is around $75, and at a rye whiskey, I think this was actually way better than the bourbon. Even with the bourbon, you said it had opened up a little bit. It changed. It's
totally different.
I still think this was better. Short Barrel Bee's Knees, I don't care if it's a single barrel or if it's the rest of my bottle. They're doing it right. I'm really excited to try the Bee's Knees 4. This is the batch 3. And then Garrison Brothers Honeydew, obviously, might be king as far as first place, but they are probably the biggest loser when it comes to price. I mean, they're very proud of their stuff. I will continue to buy it. If you don't like Texas whiskey, or you don't know if you like Texas whiskey, I would never tell you to buy this bottle or any Garrison Brothers product before trying it off of the price to value. I don't think you get what you pay for. I do think you get a good product. I just don't think you're getting as good of a product for the money you're putting up for it. I think at Bee's Knees coming in at almost half the price, or just about $50, $75 cheaper. Even with secondary coming into effect, we're talking about the same price point, with secondary pushing almost $200 on this bottle now. I still would take the secondary price over the MSRP of a Garrison Brothers product when it comes to short barrel. So something to factor in. This is the Honey Project. We had over 10 different pours of honey finished stuff. We've had some samples. We had some bottles. We had some rye. We had some finished. We had some infused.
We had some chicken. We had some sleep.
Some naps. I'm inebriated. RJ the Fed with Tyler. We're signing out. We'll see you guys for the next one.